Hi, it's Craig. It's been a really big snowstorm and it's still hitting parts of the Northeast. We wanted to really talk about the team effort and really emphasize that although you may hear about FEMA, the real heroes in this are your local responders, Department of Transportation and Public Works officials that have been working and battling through this storm. Some governors have called out the National Guard to help get stranded motorists, and utility companies are working around the clock to restore power. Our volunteer agencies such as the Red Cross and Salvation Army have been opening up shelters for warming and for those people that have lost power. And again, as we go through the storm, FEMA's job is to support the governor's team as this storm has impacted us from all the way from New Mexico up through the Northeast. We ask people to take time and give themselves a chance this morning as you start this commute. Again, be careful, very dangerous travel conditions out there. And do a couple more things to help out the team. If you're out there shoveling the sidewalks, don't forget those fire hydrants. Uncover them in case you need them later. And also check on your neighbors. A lot of folks without power, it can be kind of a dangerous situation, particularly for small children and the elderly. So again, this is a team effort. FEMA is part of the team. But we really want to acknowledge the hard work that local officials have been doing throughout this storm, getting ready for it, responding, and now digging out from this blizzard. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Wednesday, February 2nd, 2011, and I'm Darko. Please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com. I usually plug it in the beginning. It's www.ggnonline.com. All right, thanks everyone for joining me in this news bulletin. It's going to be a little different than usual. I'm going to mix it up. I have some weather stuff, and then I have eugenics, and then some other things. And then we'll bust it into a second video, and I'll try to get into the UK protests / riots, a little updates about what's going on in the Middle East, in particular Egypt, and some Big Brother police state type stuff. So it may be 3 videos today. Either way, we're going to move on to this next article. We just had FEMA telling us to be good little communitarians and look out for each other. You shouldn't really have to be told by the federal government to do that. You should just have, like, basically a good, nice little community. But anyways, National Guard to aid drivers in blizzard. And it says Governor Quinn has called out the National Guard to assist motorists stranded on interstate highways during the coming blizzard. National Guard troops will be stationed at rest areas along interstate highways, including Interstate 70, downstate, and all highways at the north of it. Quote, these troops from Illinois National Guard will help ensure public safety along the roadways. So just like FEMA guys, get used to seeing National Guard and FEMA just conditioning you and the public to think that they're your buddies. And don't forget that when the shit hits the fan, these are the guys who are going to be pointing M16s or whatever type machine guns they have at your face, telling you to move. And then FEMA will be telling you to get your vaccination and your RFID chip and get in the camp, right? All right, so storm threatens 100 million in the U.S. with snow, ice, and cold. A mammoth storm threatens to dump mounds of fresh snow, sleet, and ice. And don't forget aluminum oxide and barium oxide along with nanoparticles on about 100 million already wintry weary slaves from the U.S. heartland to the East Coast, forecaster said on Monday. Sorry, don't be offended if I say that, but hey, I saw them along with other people spraying massively. Massive spraying going on here in the Midwest, particularly northern Indiana where I reside. And so I don't believe that this is completely natural. The federal government is sending workers and equipment to at least 11 states as the wintry storm bears down on a wide swath of the country, the White House said. So FEMA mobilized as winter storms hit U.S. Blizzard ranks as 3rd worst in Chicago area history so far. Snow, freezing rain, cancel flights, trains across the U.S. Then we have this interesting article, emissions limit freezes residents. So anyways, Beijing, thousands of people in central China City may have to endure freezing weather for the rest of the winter after part of the city's heating service was stopped due to the enforced closure of major local power plant due to meet energy saving goals. So you see that, dude? You're going to freeze to death in order to save the planet. So I hope, all of you start thinking like that. In fact, if you can just stop breathing, you'd help us a lot more. So Beijing's winter drought likely to be the longest in 60 years. And it's weird because, Beijing and the Chinese have basically touted their weather modification. They actually have a weather modification office. They call it that, and they basically boast that they have the best program to create rain. So it's kind of funny that they legitimize that program, yet they still cannot seem to help these people in China that have been hit by this drought. So we're going to move on here. UN climate talks set for April in Bangkok. So the next push for the global carbon tax will be in Bangkok in April. So stay tuned for the next summit on that. Active Japanese volcano forces residents to flee. This is big news in Japan. Residents on Japan's southern island of Kyushu were ordered to evacuate Monday after the volcano spewed out more hot ash for the 6th day. So yeah, it's the 6th day. Volcanic ash blankets southern Japan. And then look at this. Japanese volcano blast shatters windows. The blast from a volcano in southwestern Japan that shot ash and rocks 2,000 meters into the air shattered windows miles away in a huge explosion, officials have confirmed. And we have flooding in Malaysia. Flooding in Malaysia causes 50,000 to evacuate, and it says at least 3 dead. Malaysia is hit by the worst floods it's seen since 2006. At least 3 people have lost their lives, with 50,000 others evacuated. And you haven't really heard that in the news at all. Powerful cyclone strikes Australia's northeast. As here, a massive cyclone struck northeastern Australia early Thursday, tearing off roofs, toppling trees, and cutting power to the thousands. And mostly powerful storm to hit the area in nearly a century. And it's called Cyclone Yazi. And the poor Australians over there have just been getting pummeled by Mother Nature lately. They just recouped from the recent floods. The world sinks, slipping sands of time hit Dubai's mega development. And this, to me, it's not like it was a happy picture. It was just, it's very symbolic to me, because these things were built for the elites, and then they just sunk. And we're going to keep moving here. Governments hoard food stockpiles in anticipation of public uprisings. Then look at this. Planned food shortages in the U.S. Okay, so there's something that the American people are not being told, right? Studies point to viruses. Oh, yeah, and don't forget, just trust FEMA, and they'll be there with your little ration card when time comes. Studies point to viruses as cause of diabetes. 2 studies published on Thursday provide evidence that common viruses may cause childhood diabetes, paving the way for potential vaccines. See, oh, so now we can create a alcoholic vaccine, a cocaine vaccine, now a vaccine to prevent diabetes. So then we have 105 million in the United States have diabetes or pre-diabetes. CDC says obesity, changes in diagnostic criteria, and eugenics may be behind soaring rates. Then we have Pakistan flood victims live in limbo despite the international community's pledge to provide long-term relief to flood-stricken Pakistan. A mass number of disaster victims are still living in harsh conditions. I wonder where that money's going. It says here cholera cases climb to 111 in Venezuela. And then we have this, look at this, Gaga's fragrance will reportedly smell like blood and semen. According to sources in the fragrance industry hired to develop Lady Gaga's first fragrance, the pop star has requested that the scent smell of blood and semen be put in. So it says I don't know how to pronounce this, but it says Actelion and Glaxo stopped developments of insomnia medicine on safety concern, and stopped the late stage of development of the experimental insomnia pill because of the concern that the patients wouldn't be able to tolerate the medicine. And it says here, Sanofi's breast cancer drug fails in advanced trial of aggressive tumors. And we're going to keep moving here. I got lots of good stuff. Italian authorities seize eggs contaminated by dioxin. This is weird because this was in Germany. And now it says Italian authorities on Thursday seized eggs contaminated by excessive amounts of dioxin levels and prohibited their trade. Population in megacities will shrink as demand eases. China's megacities such as Beijing, Shanghai, and Shenzhen have become attractive gold mines, luring people from undeveloped areas into other parts of the country. And recently the Chinese basically were reported as saying that the whole claim about megacities, there's an article done by the Telegraph, I'm sorry, and basically they said that China was going to create a megacity, and then they basically said that we're not doing that. So I don't know if that's exactly true. Chinese company fined for using banned chemicals in hair care products. Police, Indiana mother killed 3 children and self. U.S. Army wife kills children. An American mother has confessed to shooting dead her 2 teenage children in the state of Florida and is being charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. And it says here that She killed them because they, quote, talked back and they were mouthy. So it says she's the wife of a colonel in the U.S. Army Intelligence who was in Qatar and has been hospitalized after being taken to the hospital and being jailed to be charged. So here we go. Brazilian locked up wife for 8 years. Brazilian police have arrested a middle-aged man on charges of keeping his wife locked up for 8 years in the cellar of their home. First Lady Army Health Initiative may be a model for fitness and nutrition. So get this, by the time many, I'm not going to even read that. Pentagon reports U.S. troop obesity doubles since 2003. Climbing obesity rates threaten U.S. national security by hampering military recruitment. And it says in the past half century, the number of women of military age who exceeded the U.S. Army's enlistment standards for weight, for height, and body fat percentage has more than tripled. So it's a good little model to go off, don't you think, First Lady? 13% of high school biology teachers advocate creationism in class. And it says the majority of high school biology teachers don't take a solid stance on evolution with their students, mostly to avoid conflicts, and fewer than 30% of teachers take an adamant pro-evolutionary stance on the topic, a new study finds. Also, 13% of these teachers advocate creationism in their classrooms. And it's like, well, what do you think? What do I think? I believe in both. I believe in creationism, and I believe in the Big Bang. I think that the Big Bang was created by the creators. So the cost of, but you know, this is the thing, scientists and basically science and spirituality, I don't see them coming together in my lifetime. I hope that they would, because there'd be all kinds of cool things, you know, like technology would actually be very, very interesting to me, and I wouldn't always think that there was something nefarious behind every little breakthrough that we see, right? The cost of end-of-life care, when it comes to end-of-life care, many people assume that if a nursing home isn't in the picture, a family's financial burdens will likely be minimal. Such thinking, though, ignores the steep costs associated with caregiving. Even if relatives are willing to pitch in, end-of-life care isn't a pleasant topic to address. Well, yeah, because it's eugenics. It's basically people that, you know, it's a result of our society. The way our society is, it's a throwaway society. And family, it's all about not being family oriented anymore. The state is the family. You go to the state, and it says here, such challenges make it essential for families to sit down ahead of time to consider the possible burdens that they will have to be shouldered. The truth of the matter is that every person should have enough money saved up from the retirement. Like my grandfather, who was an engineer, and you know, he's been retired now for what, almost 30 years. And he's fine. He lives alone. He's out. I guess he's out there and out swinging. I'm sorry. I don't mean to get all dirty. He's not swinging, but I guess he's out doing like swing classes and teaching women how to dance and stuff. So, and he's like, he just had his 86th birthday. So, and he's happy, you know. And this is the thing. It's like my grandmother, his wife, she ended up dying with Alzheimer's and not even knowing him in the nursing home, and it was really, really sad. And that's what they want. That's what the powers that be want. They want you to just die off with Alzheimer's, not remember who you are, who your family are. And she was a result of the eugenics. And that's why I hate the powers that be. And that's why I do what I do, because I see it all around me, everywhere. And the best thing that you can do is basically live a happy life and try to be productive. And like I said, my grandfather still has some savings left over along with his Social Security. So he's able to get by. But that's the thing. He likes being independent. People don't want to be thrown into a home to die. They want to be able to be healthy enough. But because of the eugenics taking hold on us, all of us, hardly any of us are, you know, immune to it. And you know, basically, you should be able to just go through life and live by yourself if you have to and die, because you should be healthy enough. You know, just die in your sleep. But no, not now. Everybody dies of cancer. They die of diabetes. They die of heart disease. They got to die of something, right? Said 100 Huskies shot and stabbed to death after tourism slump. And this was just a sad story that I read. And I'll leave you with this before we bust into the second video. It says 100 Husky dogs were slaughtered after the 2010 Winter Olympics because they were no longer needed to pull tourist sleds at a Canadian ski resort. The killings were reportedly carried out over 2 days in April by one worker with a shotgun and a knife, with reports of injured dogs crawling out of a massive grave. So it's just a heart-wrenching story, especially if you're a pet owner. I mean, dude, I adopted my dog at a shelter. You can't just put these damn things in a shelter or something, dude. People would be more than willing to take them. But hey, that's what it's all about, eugenics, right? They even now they're calling trees. They're actually calling trees. That's why what this whole bird kill was about. It's about calling off animals. They're gods. Anyways, this is GGN. I'm Darko. Thank you.